everybody? Here we are with a catching convo. Okay, I'm Jack Farrick with Catchers U, and today we got a special guest, the man himself, Bill Leroy. All right, from the Savannah Bananas. Goal for today is talk a little catching, talk about making baseball fun, and honestly just having a good time. Bill, thanks for joining us today, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man. Love what you guys do, over at Catchers U. I love making the game fun, and anything that involves catching behind the plate, I'm all for. So, thanks for having me, man.
Dude, no problem, man. I've been, obviously gone banana crazy just like everybody else. Love all the stuff that you guys do, the enjoyment, the passion that you guys have for the game. But I think the coolest part for me, obviously, is as a guy who focuses more on catching, is watching how you've kind of incorporated a lot of the stuff that we do as catchers, and you make it fun and it's free and it's loose and it gets kids away from this mechanical robotic feel. The kids are, we got right now, we got guys, trying to do the splits. We got guys throwing behind their back, having a lot of fun with it. And, you've really captured, I think, the kid in all of us back there behind home plate. And I love that. And so kind of give me a little bit of background on, how you came to the Bananas, and then kind of when you started getting like that freedom, because a lot of people forget, it wasn't too long ago where one knee down was considered crazy. And now almost every guy in the big leagues is doing it. So go ahead, man.
Absolutely. Man, my catching career and my Bananas career has kind of been a wild journey. I graduated in 2016 from high school, and I played 5 years at the University of North Georgia. I only caught like 1.5 of those years, but I've caught every summer here in Banana Land. So after my sophomore year in 2018, all the way through 2021, I caught almost every home game every summer for the Savannah Bananas. I caught an entire year at North Georgia my junior year, half the year my senior year, and played second base and third base. Funny story, I started as a temporary contract guy with the Bananas my very first summer. I was told by our head coach, Coach Gillum, that I would be there for one day. But the impact I made, I was able to, embrace the fun and embrace the culture of, what the Bananas were looking for and searching for, and, trying to, give that product to our fans. And I understood it fairly early. And, here I am 5 years later working and playing professionally with the Bananas, and just caught a game last night and just learned some new things. I actually caught a pitch. So we got a rodeo clown on our team. His name's Matt Wolf, that plays for our professional team. He's the most awesome guy in the world, one of the most talented, entertaining, down-to-earth humans I've ever met. He was catching my bullpen the other day. We switched it up.
Okay.
And he was like crawling between hitters' legs and then jumping to the inside corner behind people and would snap, throw back to the pitcher, then jump and catch pitch. It was just like his talent, his ability, like up my game. I was like, man, I got this thing down. Like I've been catching for 5 years now. Like I know how to have fun. I also know how to, mechanically, like, how to do this thing very well. And all of a sudden he jumps right there. And I'm like, man, I could use all, 3 or 4 of those things that you just did as like little moments of fun, and still, have a good time while playing the game, and still be able to throw a guy out of second base if I need to. So we're always learning, man. Always.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah. Always is learning.
Dude, I love it. And that's the thing. It's like, what I really like, and it's, some people will be like, oh, it's just fun and everything like that. But when you watch how you're moving, you watch the athletic movements that you're doing, like that's really, you hit on the head. Like you're expanding, like you're adding, tools to the tool shed, weapons to the arsenal, right? Like you're adding things. And that's kind of what I try to work with our guys. It's like, don't just be a one setup guy. Like maybe you are a traditional 2 feet catcher and that works for you. Awesome. But maybe this will help you in this situation, or this will help you here, or this. And I think the freedom of the brain being able to try new things, mess around with things, like that is where growth can happen. Right. So, you being able to, take something from your buddy and, your rodeo clown and, and then be able to utilize that. Like that right there, that's special in itself, of just the ability for you to always be willing to expand and learn. Even at the level that you guys have kind of projected yourself to. One question before we get too deep in, just so a lot of people maybe who don't necessarily know how everything kind of came to be, can you just describe kind of like real quick how the Bananas work and how you have the college summer team as well as the pro team?
Great question. That's what we've been doing a lot of explaining of these last few weeks, because it really is a cool concept. In the summer, so from May to August, our summer team is a collegiate summer team where guys from across the country, from all different, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, JUCO, guys from in college across the entire country come to Savannah to play in the Summer Collegiate League of the CPL team, the Coastal Plains League, and we play about 50 games in the summer.
Okay.
Summer's over. The college guys go back to their team. We started our world tour with our pro team in March, and we toured from March, April, May for 3 months. We toured for 3 months with our professional team. That's consisted of guys, majority that is playing independent baseball or some kind of affiliated baseball. So almost every guy on the team is a professional baseball player, besides our 3 or 4 entertainers that are on both of our teams. The professional team, we have the Bananas and we have the Party Animals. So we had a tryout and about 100 guys came, and we picked 2 different teams of about 45 guys, split them up 22. And then we took both teams on the road to every city that we went to. So it's like we're 2 different teams. We're both on the same page. We're both extremely competitive and choreographing things and figuring out dances and all this stuff together. And when game time hits, man, it's competitive time. It's like the fact that we know these guys more and hang out with them even more and ride the bus with them and all this stuff, it makes it more competitive on the field. So a lot of people see like these crazy antics that we do on TikTok with like a fire bat or by doing a split or whatever else. That's like, man, that's different. Let me go to that game. Let me go see what's going on down there in Banana Land. I think a lot of times they expect like a clown show or something else going on. They get to the game, they're like, holy cow, like all these guys are throwing 90 to 95 miles an hour. We've got, guys with a sub 2.0 pop time behind the dish, and we got guys hitting bombs, and like everybody's a professional baseball player. So it's like this perfect mesh of entertainment and fun meeting competitive baseball and getting thrown at all of our fans from honestly both our teams. And it's a unique, nobody else is doing it. A lot of people have referred to us as the Globetrotters of baseball, which is, it's a good comparison. It's like the right idea, but like if you don't come to the game, you'll have you have no idea what you're missing out on. It's super cool.
Well, I just love also not on top, the entertainment side and the different stuff, like you said, like the fire bat and stuff like that. But what I love is the banana rules, like the match play, right? Like every inning counts. And it's like, I feel like sometimes with baseball and, because our sport, baseball in general, like we need this, like we need to be pulling people that maybe necessarily aren't baseball fans, right, to the game. And a lot of people who aren't necessarily traditional blue collar baseball people, they're not excited about the 1-0, pitcher duel, or the, team gets up by, has a big run, has a big inning, scores 8 runs and the game's over, but you got to watch every inning. Like, I love the fact that it's like a reset, and what's even cooler is this, like when you play growing up, right? Like when you play Little League, everybody, you live near everybody, they're your neighbors, right? You go to middle school, right? You play people that you've grown up against. You go to high school, and high school is like the last time that you really have that bond of a community, and everybody, and everybody's like, good dudes or not good dudes, that, right? And you got your storylines, right? And then, guys who go on and play college, right? Like this guy goes here, right? It's very sporadic, but it sounds like, you guys have kind of been able to bring back that community between that, that those 44, 45 guys that you guys select, right? And then it's like every day, like you guys are going out to beat each other. Now you guys may go joke around and, play some ping pong or whatever afterwards, but when the game's on. And I think that's a cool part that maybe a lot of people who watch, just via social media, Instagram, TikTok, there's a difference between, some of the choreographs and the actual game,
Absolutely.
and I think that to me is something that's huge and I think that's probably why the Globetrotter reference isn't as good, because the outcome isn't scripted. It's, hey, we go out, we play, and you get to see that. And I think for me, I love that. I love just the grassroots idea of, the competitiveness, like I'm coaching a 14U team right now, and we've got some dudes, and we got to do a couple where, I think we have like 13 on our roster, so, we don't, play, ton of games at one time. And we invited, an extra 5 kids out to a field, and we basically played pickup games, like for scrimmages. And the kids were starting to have so much fun. Like they're getting a ton of ABs and like that, the competitiveness between teammates and friends when done right and done healthy, I just think makes the game so much better, and it just explodes. And that's kind of what I see. Like I see genuine joy when I watch you guys play the game, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I see guys who are grateful to play the game, right? And enjoy, and are always thinking about, the fans. I'm coaching a college summer team also this summer called the Bunt Cakes. I mean, we may have a better logo. No big deal. But with that, like I want to have fun, because, we've all played summer ball, and yes, you want to get your work in. And there's a difference between probably how the collegiate team goes about it versus the pro team. But, you want to get your work in, you want to get better, but this is the time to enjoy the summer ball is when, you want to grow as a player, but you want to love coming to the field every day, and I reached out, through the Bunt Cakes, and I was like, and I asked, the Savannah Bananas, I was like, well, what, I'm trying to create fun. And they were like, dude, put your fans first, right? And put the environment first. And I think that's so huge for an organization to think that way, right? It's like, how do I make this better for you and our guys? And then we can create how our guys can enjoy it as well. And it really is like, you guys have a really good blend, of that fun, but with skill. And I think that's the part that I would challenge the blue collar baseball fan or the old school baseball fan that maybe gets like, offended or says this isn't real baseball. Watch the skill, watch the velocity, right? Watch the swings, watch what guys are able to do while still playing baseball.
Yeah. I think for me is like, what do you value more? Like when you look back on your career, would you value that you were, too stubborn to kind of like respect that there's extreme amounts of talent here, and there's thousands and thousands of people gathering in one place and smiling, right, and enjoying and having fun. And that's what life is all about, is experiencing joy and spreading joy. I mean, that's the most valuable thing to me in this life. And if I look back on my career and I was like, man, I took it too seriously, I struck out and slammed the helmet, my batting average wasn't what I wanted to, then, I didn't experience joy. And, when my family came to the game, I was too upset to talk to them because I took it too seriously. I took it as a business. Or like, these unwritten rules of baseball, do those matter more, or is experiencing and spreading joy and giving people happiness does that matter more? And to me, like, it's a no-brainer. And and just last night we broke a Guinness World Record of the most amount of banana suits wore at one gathering at one time. So we bought 2,000 banana costumes and we spread them across our entire stadium and laid them on all the seats. The visual was hilarious. before the game and during
I
the
can
game.
only imagine.
And so like people show up like, what is going on? Like, what is this? And then like as everybody got in the stadium, we're like, all right, put your banana costume on. We're breaking a Guinness World Record. Anybody here tonight, you're a part of something special. You broke a Guinness World Record for the most banana costumes worn in one gathering. And the place erupted, man. People were like, man, I'm a part of something bigger than baseball. And that had nothing to do with average. That had nothing to do with strikeout. That had nothing to do with ERA. Like you can, like, you hit it on the head. Like, have some feel when you're coming to the ballpark. You should enjoy it. At the same time, like, the fans are coming to see competitive baseball as well. So throughout the week, throughout practices, before the game, get your work in. Do what you're supposed to do. Like, I'm a hardworking guy. Came from a small town. Worked hard to get where I was at. Took a lot of hard work, and like I expect others on this team, as a leader of the college team, before and the pro team now. Like I put it in our guys' ear all the time. Like, guys, we get to do a lot of stuff. I put it in perspective. Like, it's super cool what we get to do. It's a base treat. If we treat the fans the way that we're supposed to, if we love them, they're going to cheer louder for us, fuel us more. We're going to play better. I was like, so like as our brand on the field, I don't want to be seen as a clown show. Like we do that enough with our TikTok.
Right.
Like we show people this crazy side. Like, we're doing our part on the entertainment side always. I was like, it's my job to like push you guys, to challenge you guys, to say, hey, like, let's be the absolute best baseball players, banana ball players that we can be, and we're going to crush the entertainment side no matter what. So it's like finding that balance of like having perspective to know that this is bigger than baseball. We're loving people. We're giving people happiness and joy by being here, something bigger than baseball. And then we're crushing this entertainment side, putting a smile on people's faces, and we're the best baseball players in the world. We don't want to be second to anybody. So it's like this culture that we've created, starting from the top down with crazy yellow tux Jesse, who's the freaking man. I mean, that guy's God. He is awesome at what he does. He's nonstop ideas. He's nonstop hard working, and that culture has just like fell down to each department, every person that works in our front office, the guys on the field. I mean, that leadership is it's contagious. So it's very cool. And when you tell the story about how we started, like in 2016, Jesse and them sold. That was before my time. They sold like 2 tickets. So like at the very when they announced the name Savannah Bananas, nobody liked it. Everybody hated it. They sold 2 tickets, and like coming from that to where we're sold out over 150 plus straight games. Like, when you put in perspective, like the impact it's made after people have bought in, like if you look at that and see that, like, wow, you should probably buy into, because there's something cool that's going on here.
There's just a contagious, I like that word. There's a contagious energy about you guys right now. And I think I think the reason why it's going to continue is it's genuine, and you watch the way you guys play. There is feel, and there's gel, and and it's good baseball. Like, and that's the thing, because you have skilled players that are going on and putting on an athletic show, and I think that seems to be the main focus of it, versus, yes, the entertainment side, that is happening, and that's part of it. And you guys are skilled in that as well. But like the guys are focused on good baseball, and then being relaxed in a good way. Like, there's 2 ways to be relaxed, right? There's the relax when you don't care, and there's the relax when you're free, and you're free to you're free of fear, or free of fear of failure. And I think that's what I see. I see a bunch of dudes who are talented, who are just going all in and just saying, and just enjoying every moment. And, and I think for me, being a guy who works with a lot of catchers, and, we talked a little bit about this, before, that box that catchers like to put themselves in, because they got to do, well, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this, and I always try to say, like, hey, we do mechanics, think of mechanical work as like your train tracks, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're trying to build your train tracks. Now, once that train gets on them tracks, we trying to go 100%, like, and we're gonna fly. And you know what? Hey, every once in a while, the tracks might get a little here, but we're going 100%. So we gotta talk a little bit about some of Bill Leroy's favorite stances and favorite things to do as a catcher. All right.
Absolutely, man. Honestly, I think the reason why I changed so much is because I feel like I'm ADHD. Like the kid in me has never left, man. Like I'm go always. Like if I see a ball, I think my favorite quote is from Matt Wolf, the rodeo clown. He's like my twin. He's like, man, when I see a baseball, he said, I'm like a dog with somebody waggling a toy in front of his face. He's just like constantly moving. I'm constantly going. So like, there's no way I could be, just stuck in this, this one catching position the whole time. So, I mean, a lot of times I'm switching it up just because like, man, I want to move. Like I'm ready to go. Like I'm loose and I'm ready to go. Like I want to show these pictures. Like I'm confident in everywhere and everything. I want to stay low to the ground, and so like I'll go, 2 feet up. I'll go one knee down, left knee, right knee down. I'll go split with one leg, split with the other leg. And just like, I'm constantly just moving, but I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. Like I've trained my body to be flexible enough. And like you said, like you need a base. Like there's going to be tight situations in games where like there's a runner on third, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, or in banana ball, it's the last inning, it's a tie inning. And like you're going to have to keep balls in front of you. Like you should be in the most position, the position you've trained the most to block in, whatever that is, right. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Like you need a base. You need stuff to train on, stuff to get better at. But like, when there's nobody's on base, like, man, there's things to try, there's things to learn. Like you're limiting yourself a ton if you're limiting yourself to one position. Like the most fun catchers in the world to watch are the most athletic. Like I played shortstop and second base, third base. Like growing up, I did it in college, I did it at Bananas, and like I've trained. Like playing other positions, doing other things makes you more valuable at your one position. And the things I've picked up from shortstop with my hands and like moving my body, how I move my body more efficiently is like helped me tremendously with catching, man. And the different positions I get in. I think my favorite one is just left knee down, man. I've learned how to throw from there. I've learned how to block from there. I'm really, really good at receiving with one knee down. And it's just been recently, honestly, throughout this tour is when I picked it up the most. Like I started watching some other guys like Yachty. I mean, the guy's a freaking goat.
Right.
Unbelievable. Watching these guys throw I was like, yeah, I love catching from one knee, like nobody on base. Or like even like running on third, like I can still block really well on one knee. Like throwing wise, I was like, I wasn't really comfortable. I'm like, I don't know how to really throw off one knee yet. Haven't trained that. And so I started, I was like, man, I want to figure this thing out. Other guys are doing it. Like, I know I can.
Right.
And like literally just a few days in of training, like learning how to use my body efficiently off one knee. Like I'm catching 95% of the time on one knee now, just because I can throw, I can catch. My body is closer to the ground. I'm able to receive, which allows me to receive better and have stronger hands and wrists. Like it just makes more sense for me to do that, to be comfortable, to be athletic, and to have confidence in what I'm doing. So my left knee down is like 90% of the time. Guys on base, guys not on base, and honestly, a lot of the splits and different stuff like that is kind of just for pictures and video purposes, and having swag, So
yeah. Well, no, and I think that's like I train kids, obviously traditional, and then we work on one knee down, throwing and stuff like that, because like what I don't want is I teach a kid how to receive from one knee, right, and then they want to use it in the game, but then they can't block out of it, they can't throw out of it, right, and then it becomes a very waste of time, right? Like even with youth catchers, a lot of times I'll have them use the one knee down for a training purpose, because their legs just aren't strong enough to get through 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour worth of training, right? Because they get to the front and, and fatigue sets in. But I think the coolest part about throwing from one knee to second base is when people realize it's not as scary or as challenging, I think, as you would think it would be, and then when you try to do it, you have a lot of success, right? And it's like sometimes guys throw as well because they feel like the throwing motion is more simple from a knee, because it's easier just to work online versus getting across. So when you were playing with left knee down, like, because we got kids that want to be able to do that, or glove side knee down, right? Like they want to, they all want to learn how to kind of throw from it. So if you've got any quick little tips or anything like that, I'd love for you to share them with the guys.
Yeah. So I think for me, like left knee down throwing, it's literally just like, it's like a gather of your energy, like pushing from your knee. Like, let's see, let's get down and do it right now. So one knee here. But actually, I think it's more my right foot. So literally, just like your right foot is already planted into the ground, like with left knee down. It's literally just a gather of your energy, pushing like off your right heel and like immediately towards second base.
Kind of like a rock and fire.
Yeah,
like
it's like
when that ball, like
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like a rock and fire. Literally just putting that heel, because your heel's already there in the ground. And honestly, like your mind, you see a guy on first base, especially a guy who's quick, like anticipating a throw, like ready to do that motion, like receive that pitch, boom, you're planting to the ground, gathering energy, and just and going. I would say like a rock and fire. And I've learned how to do that pretty well, over the tour, and it worked well. I threw a couple guys out, and honestly, with one knee down, like I love back picking to first base, like from a knee as well. Like it's so much easier. It's quicker. I'm already there. Like you said, like a lot of these guys are young and are not able to do that yet. And it does, like, honestly, like it saves knees too. Like if you're in a comfortable position, like dude, it's going to prolong your career as well, and not hold you back from anything catching wise, at all. So yeah, I think throwing from knee is like a rock and fire.
right.
I'll say that's the place to put it.
That's awesome, man. Well, man, like I said, I'm so excited that we got to do this, and I'm so excited for you guys and when you guys are going to continue to do the game and everything like that. When it comes to baseball and it comes to making it exciting and fun for people that maybe didn't grow up in the game, this to me is absolutely awesome. It's absolutely what I want our guys doing. These are the kind of TikToks and social media things that I want our guys going to when it comes to enjoying the game, right? Yes, I want them trying to watch, the MLB guys and figure out how they're doing it and stuff. But if we can get guys having fun, we may get a couple more guys back from basketball. We may get some more players back from football, and we might start getting, just more guys that want to, commit to this game. And I'll tell you what, man, like it's exciting to watch what you guys are doing. I really appreciate your time today. You got any big thing that we need to know about Banana Land, Banana Ball that we can shout out for you guys real quick?
Oh man. Yeah, check us out on this tour, ESPN Plus, or ESPN followed us for 8 weeks of the tour, 2 weeks before it started, and we did a media day after, and they're putting together like I think 4 to 5 episode documentary that's coming out at the end of the summer on ESPN Plus. So go check that out. HBO Max, HBO Sports just come out with like a one episode documentary on us that just aired last night. So you can go check that out. If you haven't came to a game, like come out and see us, especially like the younger generations, the guys that you train. Continue to just have fun, man, and experience joy. Throughout my career, I've been guilty of not having fun and taking it as a business and losing my joy in it. And the most times I remember are the times that I had the most fun. I smiled the most. I was connected and had the great relationships with the players on my team. And stats and situations didn't determine that. It was a choice to have fun with my teammates and to just be free, man. I think you hit it right on the head when you said this being free, and you'll play better that way. So keep having fun, keep working hard, keep doing what you're doing, and come out and see us.
Dude, that's awesome, man. And like I said, man, I really appreciate you coming on today. It's been a blast, dude, and we gotta have to do this again sometime soon.
Absolutely, man. Love to see you in person. So let's do it soon.
Yeah, dude. We'll have to set that up. All right, guys. That was today's Catching Convo with Bill Leroy. Thank you so much, man, for joining us, and hope everyone has a great day. And remember, keep it easy back there.